General Hospital spoilers reveal that Nina Reeves will face some real shooter horror sooner or later. Will Willow Kane finally confess to her mom that she pulled the trigger on Drew Kane? At the moment, Willow is putting on an innocent act, even when she's with Nina. GH fans saw a flashback of Willow pulling the trigger on Drew twice, but she's pretending she's a victim who's been framed by Michael Corinthos. However, there may come a point when Willow will need someone to confide in. If Willow ever decides to come clean about the fact that she's the true shooter, she may blurt out a confession to Nina. It's even possible that Nina will find out another way, like if she overhears Trina Robinson spilling to Portia Robinson or something along those lines. Even Alexis Davis herself could ultimately admit to Nina that she knows Willow is guilty, even if she doesn't elaborate on how she knows that. We could imagine Nina uncovering the shooter truth somehow and sitting Willow down for an honest discussion. Nina might push Willow to divulge what really happened, so maybe it could finally pour out of Willow and give her a chance to get everything off her chest. Regardless, Nina vowed to support Willow unconditionally. Since Nina knows this could be her last chance to connect with her daughter, she doesn't intend to blow it. We have no doubt that Nina will keep quiet if Willow confesses to her about shooting Drew that stormy night. Willow might admit something inside her snapped and made her realize she had to make Drew pay for ruining her life. Although viewers have seen Willow's flashbacks, it'd be nice to actually hear her perspective too. If Willow makes a big confession to Nina at some point, she could share the whole ugly story and explain what was running through her mind. Will Nina become the keeper of Willow's secret at some point? Will Willow admit the truth to her mom and get Nina's vow to keep her mouth shut? General Hospital spoilers say Nina could face some shocking news after Willow's acquittal, so we'll bring you updates on all the drama. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Emma Scorpio's rescue attempt will follow an Anna Devane sighting. Will this be part of WSB director Ross Cullum's traumatic wild goose chase? Anna already turned to Jack Brennan for help getting in touch with her grandmother, but Cullum informed Brennan that Anna seemingly vanished on her own. Of course, GH fans know that's not true since Anna is currently being held captive on Spoon Island. That said, there's been some talk about moving Anna since Britt Westbourne will be working at the lab on Spoon Island soon. If Anna is transferred to another location, there's the potential for her to be spotted in the process. However, that'd be awfully sloppy for a guy like Cullum, so maybe the Anna sighting that's coming up will be phony instead. Emma obviously won't just sit back and accept that Anna ran away willingly. Since Emma has been missing her grandma and struggling on her own, she'll remain desperate for a family reunion. That could be a problem for Cullum, so maybe he'll arrange for Anna to be allegedly spotted somewhere. Cullum might keep Emma busy with a wild goose chase that'll potentially end in disaster. Whatever the case, Emma will seek some assistance from Nathan West during the week of January 19th to 23. Since the WSB won't be providing the answers Emma needs about Anna's whereabouts, she may turn to the cops and work another angle. Emma may insist she knows her grandmother well enough to realize Anna wouldn't just run off and leave her family without any real contact, at least not if she could help it. Nathan may not be much help either, but Max Scorpio and Felicia Scorpio will help Emma with a rescue plot soon enough. Emma, Felicia, and Mac will all pitch in after Anna is supposedly spotted somewhere, but it'll result in a disturbing ordeal. Bottom line, an Anna sighting will become part of this storyline whether it's real or fake. Emma will race to assist Anna along with Felicia and Mac, but some alarming events will follow. Will Cullum fake Anna's demise to quash Emma's questions? Will Cullum create a wild goose chase that won't accomplish much of anything other than manipulating Emma and the rest of Anna's loved ones? Regardless, General Hospital spoilers say Gio Palmieri will get updates on all the latest news and step up to support Emma along the way. General Hospital News says that a lot of fans can't help but wonder this same thing. Is 2026 going to be the year that Maurice Benard finally throws in the towel? Keep reading below for everything you need to know. General Hospital News says that a lot of fans can't help but wonder this same thing. Is 2026 going to be the year that Maurice Benard finally throws in the towel? Keep reading below for everything you need to know. Maurice, who is best known for his role as Sonny Corinthos on the ABC soap, has made it clear that he's been thinking more and more about stepping back from acting. After all, he's someone that has a lot on his plate right now. He hosts his YouTube series on mental health, State of Mind. He's also a very active grandparent and spends almost all of his time with his family when he's not on the set of General Hospital. This is why so many people think that Maurice might be making an announcement about his future with the soap sooner rather than later. Now, whether or not Maurice Benard actually does announce his retirement from acting remains to be seen, but so far, the actor has not made any comments about the matter just yet. But then again, there's no doubt that Port Charles would not be the same without Sonny Corinthos controlling the streets. He's not just a legacy character, he is the face of the soap and always has been. What's next? For Maurice Benard. Yet, at the same time, a lot of fans think that Maurice should just follow in the footsteps of the bold and the beautiful's John McCook, or even the young and the restless star, Eric Braeden, and stay on the show for as long as he can, even if he's not given significant storylines. As much as Maurice had talked about retirement and wanting to spend time with his family in the past, we have a strong feeling that's what he's going to do. In other words, there's a chance that Sonny Corinthos is going nowhere, even if he's going to be rarely seen in the coming weeks and even months ahead. So far, Maurice himself has not made any additional comments about the matter. Watch this space for more. General Hospital airs weekdays on the ABC network. Check your local listings for times. Anna wasn't the only one who had a strong reaction upon hearing the familiar voice of Caesar Faison at the end of the General Hospital episode, airing on Friday, January 16th. But while Anna feared that the man who spent decades turning her life upside down had returned yet again, audiences weren't so sure. While the majority of chatter following the episode, recapped here, had to do with Willow being found not guilty, despite the fact we now know she was Drew's shooter, folks had plenty of thoughts to share on the return of Faison. The general consensus? The storyline's bad guys are trying to fake Anna out in order to get information from her. But what none seem able to figure out is what they want and why Pascal and Associates are taking this roundabout way of getting it. Pascal has scrambled Anna's brain like 2 eggs, commented JM beneath the recap, while others chimed in that they were pretty sure Faison's voice was faked, possibly via AI. Others expressed frustration with the pacing of the storyline. Sandra, for example, pointed out the Sidwell/Brennan/Valentine/Faison tale has gone on for several years without a clear explanation, while the writers keep adding layer upon layer, so much so that viewers don't understand. In this case, it seems the show tipped its hand prematurely. In the same episode which had Faison supposedly addressing Anna, we learned that Pascal was apparently drugging Anna so she would hallucinate. For example, while Anna believed she was being treated by Obrecht, we quickly discovered it was a sorta look-alike. Pascal then said it was time for Phase 2, which was clearly the Faison trickery. What with Faison's brain in a jar, it would seem tough to bring him back from the dead, even on a soap populated by as many zombies as wander Port Charles. You've seen the evidence. Now hit the comment section and weigh in with your take. Is Faison really back? Or are the bad guys simply trying to fool our gal Anna? If there's anything that we've learned about General Hospital star Nancy Lee Grahn over the years, it's that if she's got something on her mind, you better believe that she's going to say it. General Hospital's Nancy Lee Grahn isn't ready to discuss this. In fact, Nancy, who is best known for her role as Alexis Davis on the hit ABC soap, makes just as many headlines for some of the things she says on social media, and especially after the current political climate in the country. Nancy is not one to hold back. In fact, the actress recently announced that she's going on tour to meet her fans in cities such as Boston, New Hyde Park, New York, Philadelphia, and Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And while a lot of people would probably expect her to talk about the latest storylines on General Hospital and what's next for her character Alexis, there's a very good chance that's not going to happen. She's just simply not ready, nor does she want to discuss it. Instead, Nancy will most likely talk about the latest current affairs, how it has impacted the country and her own personal life, and share her opinions about what she thinks should be happening right now in the White House. And if you don't agree with Nancy, you better believe that she's going to have something to say about that too. What's next for Nancy Lee Grahn? The last few months have not been very good ones for Nancy Lee Grahn. That's because Nancy hasn't had a good day, a good week, or a good year for that matter. She's lost a good friend and former co-worker, Anthony Geary. She was absolutely devastated over the loss. Not only that, but she was apparently so sick she couldn't get out of bed, and watching the news hasn't been very good for her mental health either. For Nancy, it seems like things are going to get worse before they get better. So far, Nancy Lee Grahn has not made any additional comments about the matter just yet. General Hospital spoilers reveal the fans were thrilled to see Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, back in the office this week, but not nearly as thrilled as Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn was. She needed her friend, her therapist, and her attorney in that moment after learning that Willow Tate Kane, Caitlin McMullen, actually did shoot Drew Kane. Cameron Matheson. It might have seemed like good counsel for Diane to walk her through the options and help her decide how to move forward. But it doesn't seem as though either of them really looked far enough ahead to play out what is likely to come next. The prosecution going after Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson. Can Diane keep Michael in the clear without throwing Alexis under the bus? The prosecution isn't resting District Attorney Justine Turner, Nazneen contractor, was bent on making sure Willow went down for this crime. Despite the circumstantial evidence involved, and despite having no smoking fun, Turner was pretty sure she could convince a jury that Willow was the most likely culprit. But being the most likely person in the room still doesn't affirm guilt. And alas, the prosecution lost. Now, they'll have to turn their focus in another direction to solve this crime, and that makes Michael the next most likely person on Turner's list. Tease Diane and Alexis share the same boat. While Alexis has been representing Willow, it has been her duty to do so to the best of her ability and try to get her client off of these charges. If the prosecution comes after Michael, Diane will be held to the same obligations. What are the odds that Diane will downplay what she knows or defend Michael without making it out to look like Willow might be guilty when it could harm her relationship with Alexis? This is going to get tricky for these friends-turned-law partners, Miller and Davis no more? No. It was Diane who championed the cause of Alexis going before the bar, requesting a hearing, and fighting to get her law license back. It meant everything to her, and she nearly chickened out when the fear got to be too much to handle before she was granted reinstatement. She owes Diane a lot, as a friend and a mentor, and now as a partner in their law firm. Diane had a robust and thriving practice all on her own. She didn't need Alexis, but she wanted to take her on board. Now, having to defend Michael may mean she has to unearth the witnesses and evidence she knows exist to make the claim that Michael didn't do this because Willow did. Will that botch things for Alexis and her comfy status as Emily Scout Kane's Cosette Abinante doting grandmother? How might that upend Willow's picture-perfect life with Drew? In exciting news that instantly sent shockwaves through Port Charles, Laura Wright has confirmed what many longtime viewers have hoped and argued about for years. Sonny and Carly are on the path to rekindling their romance. According to Wright, this isn't a fleeting tease or a nostalgic moment. It's a meaningful return to a bond that has never truly been broken. Their relationship has always existed in cycles: love, betrayal, separation, and inevitable pullback. Even when apart, Sonny and Carly have remained emotionally tethered, drawn together by shared history, family, and an unspoken understanding no one else has ever matched. Wright's confirmation suggests the story is ready to acknowledge that truth again. This reveal signals that the show is leaning into legacy storytelling, revisiting one of General Hospital's most defining romances with renewed emotional depth. What makes this upcoming reunion especially compelling is timing. Sonny and Carly aren't the same people they once were. They've endured loss, power shifts, and painful realizations that have reshaped how they see love and loyalty. According to Wright, this next chapter isn't about repeating the past, it's about confronting it. This version of Sonny and Carly carries scars. They've seen what life looks like without each other, and they understand the cost of walking away. That awareness gives their reconnection a quieter, more mature intensity. Less about fireworks, more about inevitability. When Sunny and Carly reunite, it's never just a love story. It's a power shift. Their partnership has always influenced the balance of Port Charles, and this rekindling is expected to do the same. Whether facing external threats or internal conflicts, they are strongest and most dangerous together. Laura Wright's announcement makes one thing clear. This isn't about fan service or nostalgia alone. It's about honoring a relationship that has shaped decades of storytelling and still has more to say. The emotional stakes are higher because the history is heavier and the consequences more real. As General Hospital moves toward this long-anticipated reunion, viewers can expect passion, tension, and moments that remind them why Sunny and Carly have endured as one of daytime television's most iconic couples. Some loves don't fade. They wait.